Every day, 100,000 passengers pass through London Paddington. But over 4 crazy days in March, an extra 6,000 pile in and out of the station.
Have a good day, enjoy, make some money.
It's the week of the Cheltenham races, one of the busiest times of the year at Paddington.
We've got a lot more people travelling on the high-speed services out to Cheltenham. We've got extra high-speed services going down throughout the week. So in the morning they're all going out very smartly dressed, and they're all coming back slightly dishevelled after a day on the races and the beer.
With thousands of extra passengers expected this week, everybody's mucking in. With some staff like Area Operations Managers Paul Fallows and Sachin Sanghavi
See you later.
ditching their desk jobs to help out on the platforms and the trains.
But when we volunteer, is whatever help they need, whichever standard class is busy, we help out in standard class. If the express cafe is busy, we help out there. People have taken Thursdays and Fridays off just to go to Cheltenham, and so the trains today and tomorrow will be more busier than they would normally be. So it'll be quite fun. We'll find out.
On platform 4, duty station manager Charlie McGuinness and customer services assistant Natalie Greenwood are doing their best to get racegoers onto the main train of the festival.
Yeah, what's it like for space towards the front of the train on platform number 4? It's 9:15 Cheltenham, so it's the busiest train we've got all day for all the punters going to the races.
Make sure you pick a winner, and then half it with me.
But already there's trouble in first class.
There's no seats left, there's no seats.
Many passengers have bought first class tickets, but they've discovered this doesn't necessarily guarantee them a first class seat.
I'm telling them that they can either sit in standard or travel the next one. I said, no, this is ridiculous, I want to sit in this one, I want to go on this one. First class, we've only got 2 carriages, it's fully reserved. So most of these people are trying to get on first class, and they're upset because they don't want to stand, because they paid about £200 for their ticket. First is standing only. You can actually have your ticket and go to standard and just keep your tickets and get reimbursed on a later date, but you can still travel with it. I know it's frustrating and it's horrible, but I'm doing the best that I can.
With 7 extra daily trains laid on for the festival, it's the job of catering manager Alison Scully to make sure the buffet cars are fully stocked.
We're waiting for a large delivery for the Cheltenham races. Lots of beer, champagne, gin, tonic. Wish I was drinking it before.
But with frustrated first-class passengers still looking for seats, she has also been pulled into the fray.
One of the guys in green might be able to give you a voucher and also take your email address to give you some sort of compensation.
Oh, are you dealing with the problem that first class is overbooked?
Not personally, I'm a catering manager, but the people in green vests are outside, yeah. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Sorry.
It's now 9:05, and Alison has just 10 minutes to stock the Cheltenham special before it leaves.
White wine. Small bottles of Prosecco.
But then Alison suddenly gets called to platform 2.
So, is it the water tanks leaking in the roof, or is it the boiler leaking? Oh, the toilet. Ah, you didn't say that. I thought you said that the boiler was leaking. So then we can't use the area at all. Not for food. There's the toilets are leaking in the buffet area, so we can't use it for dealing with food. So.
It's now 9:15, and the Cheltenham Express is ready to depart. And this one does have a fully stocked buffet.
If you have to stand up, ladies, I would stay around the bar area.
Yes, good idea.
Yeah.
It's full and standing. If you let, they're standing there by the toilet. All the vestibules are full. So, yeah, that's about as many as you can get on.
As the first racegoers head off to Cheltenham,
into control of Swindon.
Jason Haynes at Network Rail receives a worrying call.
Right, OK, so we're pretty much going to be screwed then, aren't we?
Heavy rain and meltwater have caused the River Exe in Devon to burst its banks, seriously endangering the main line through Devon and Cornwall.
The Environment Agency are predicting 4.1 metres of flooding around the Cowley Bridge area. We've looked at our models, speaking to the infrastructure maintenance delivery manager at Exeter, and he says if we're going by that depth of flooding, the line will flood at Cowley Bridge Junction, which means we won't be running any trains.
Cowley Bridge looks small, but is a crucial junction on Paddington's Great Western Route. If it floods, this will affect passengers going from Devon and Cornwall to the races, and also those trying to get from Paddington to the West Country.
Cowley Bridge is the key part, on the basis that if it floods, it will wash the track away as well, because the water is quite sort of powerful.
If it floods, the main line to Cornwall will be flooded and blocked.
Jason calls an emergency meeting with the Environment Agency.
Thanks to everybody for joining the conference about particular concerns over certain river levels, which is very likely to cause us a flooding event.
To judge whether Cowley Bridge Junction will flood, forecasters use 2 railway landmarks as a barometer.
History shows that Dean and Bradnich crossing will flood first at Stafford, that then goes into the adjacent fields, and as they increase the water, it's that water in the field runs down to Cowley Bridge, and that's when the water will then go over the track and we've got Cowley all washed out.
Yeah.
It's happened several times in the past. In 2016 and in 2012, when the line had to be closed for 11 days. But the rail network does have a way of avoiding it.
To prevent the track flooding, or to prevent our assets there, the points and the signalling equipment, we'll have to put out what we call a barrier, which we've done years gone by.
This inflatable barrier will stop the floodwater from reaching Cowley Bridge, but putting it up will cause severe delays to the service.
That takes 2 hours to erect and 4 hours to put back down again. So effectively we'll be closed for 6 hours, plus the time that the track flooding is on. It's as good as a total blockade of the railway between Taunton and Exeter, and between Exeter and Barnstable.
Jason and his team now have a dilemma. Do they erect the barrier and effectively wipe out the rail service across the whole of Devon, or do they take a risk and hope the floodwaters won't rise that high?
I don't know whether Mike, Tim from the Environment Agency, whether you've got any sort of thoughts or comments on that.
It feels as though it's kind of a monitoring, it's have people watching, but it is possible.
The team decides to take a calculated risk.
On the basis of what we've received from the Environment Agency, we think that Cowley Bridge will not flood. We just hope that we don't get caught out.
But the waters have now started to rise, and they've reached one of the first danger spots, the Heel and Bradnich level crossing.
This is a bit of a black spot here for flooding. The water backs up towards Clumpton, fills up the fields and then breaches down there and sneaks in up there, gradually fills up the cess, fills up the up road, fills up the down road, and basically that's it. Once it's reached the depth, the standards say you can't run trains, it's not safe, so we have to stop them.
The stretch of track is on the main artery that connects Paddington with the southwest of England.
That's the main line between Exeter and Taunton that goes on towards Reading and London, and also towards Bristol in the north. We managed to catch trains at Taunton and Exeter, so the trains at Exeter will go back west, and the trains at Taunton will go back north or east.
A section of the western route is now impassable, causing disruption to everyone heading to and from the West Country, including the Cheltenham Racegoers.
It's serious. Currently, we've got both lines closed to all traffic.
But their main concern is still Cowley Bridge Junction. If it floods, it could cause serious damage to the tracks, which would take weeks to repair. It's now a waiting game to see how high the water will rise. At 9:30, it finally reaches its peak.
The water level's peaked at 2.66 metres, which shows pretty much where we are at the moment.
And it's good news. Cowley Bridge has escaped unscathed.
Cowley Bridge itself, there's currently no concerns.
But that doesn't mean they're out of the woods. Until the water levels recede, it's still unsafe to run trains.
This road is the up, it's still blocked due to the height of the water above the head of the rail. Obviously got to clear off any debris on the head of the rail there. But once the water level drops a bit lower, I'll get up there and do that. And then hopefully we can get everything back running normal as quick as possible and get people moving.
An hour later, with the water going down fast, Jason takes another calculated gamble.
If it's only 1 inch above, well, it was 3 inches before, wasn't it?
It was 3 inches, it's an inch above now.
I reckon, should we go for it, putting everything through? Yeah. And water levels have gone below the head of the rail on the down line, which means we can go back to line speed as far as we're concerned. So I'm willing to risk a train going through to Plymouth on the basis that when it goes to Plymouth and then dwells at Plymouth for a little while and comes back, it's going to be a case with nearly 2 hours. And I'm hopeful we should have some sort of train service coming back.
Trains towards Plymouth can now run normally. Jason can only hope that by the time they come back towards Paddington, the floodwaters will have receded and the line reopened.
Taking a risk, but I think it's a dynamic risk.
You didn't get much more dynamic than our Jason.
No.
Back on the Cheltenham Special, the Racegoers are in high spirits.
Yeah, I'm off to Cheltenham.
Every year we go, yeah. This year we've gone 4 days. So this is our 3rd day, so we are recovering alcoholics.
The train's just great. You can pick your winners or you hope your winners.
It somehow seems acceptable, doesn't it, to have a fried breakfast and then followed by a glass of Prosecco or a gin and tonic at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's somehow acceptable for the festival.
In the buffet car, area operations managers Sachin and Paul have swapped their desks for trolleys.
What I'm going to do, 20 baguettes for now, not more. I'll keep them already in this basket with some ketchup and brown sauce.
I'm normally sat behind the computer screen looking how bad the service might be getting and trying to put it back together again. Have you got any more been delivered? Because this is nearly finished. It gets people interacting where they wouldn't do normally. It gets people doing completely different roles to what they ever signed up for. And it's a good laugh, it brings people together.
The train is about to pull in to Cheltenham.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just arriving into Cheltenham Spa. Cheltenham Spa, this will be your last and final stop.
And on the platform, everyone is under starters' orders.
Horses! Horses! Racegoers, buses, taxis over the bridge. This way to the pub. Hey, hey, hey!
It's a very busy day for us, or busy 4 days for us. Around about 15,000 people a day. We see all sorts. They come through in the morning like pom princesses, and they go back in the night with makeup everywhere, hair everywhere. It's just a fun time.
Cheltenham Spa station usually serves around 3,000 passengers a day. During the course of the festival, they expect up to 5 times that. With so many extra people expected, trains have been staggered so they don't all turn up at once.
Want to get down to the bottom bus queue for me? They all leave at the same time.
But the flooding further down the line in Devon means that some trains are late starters.
Another train that's come in from the south. But we've had some flooding in the southwest around Taunton, so we've had a few issues down there. It's causing a bit of service disruption out there, so that might take account of why these people, we don't normally have this many people in this late, so that might be why.
Staff are doing their best to keep the crowds moving. But with such large numbers, even getting them out of the station is problematic.
You know, you go a few thousand on your average day to this, so we literally have to use every inch of the station that we have, which is why we have to close the car park to bring it all out here. Which is really inconvenient for our normal customers, but just for the safety of everyone, we have to do it. Keep coming down for me, that's it. Have a great day today, guys, all right?
With 2 more Cheltenham specials expected from Paddington,
Guys, want to go straight out the ramp for us, okay?
some bad news has just come in to route control.
We've developed 2 signalling incidents at Eden Broadway. We've got a track circuit failure beyond Eden Broadway station, and we've also got a signalling problem which is just behind where the track circuit failure is as well. So we cannot clear up to the route where the track circuit failure is.
The main line out of Paddington will now have to be closed, and all trains, including the Cheltenham specials, rerouted down the congested relief line.
We run everything via the relief between Ladbroke Grove and Southall, and we'll have to implement a contingency plan to allow that timetable to work. So we're going to put probably about 10 to 15 minutes into some of the Gold Cup specials.
If more trains arrive late into Cheltenham, crowd numbers could build up to dangerous levels.
We've had about 14,000 people through our queuing system, and that's just the people exiting on this side. Keep coming down. Come here. As you can see, lots of them are very drunk already.
Luckily, it's a relatively quick fix.
The box technician at Didcot has done some investigating and found that there's a module which is common to all both track circuits and the signal problems. So we just get hold of the techs now and go down and replace it.
It was a matter of like minutes. If it had gone at like a minute or 5 minutes before, we would have hammered the last race special.
And away they go.
And maybe I know to put something on a horse today, see what happens.
The last one. I'm happy now. They're gone.
The last of the racegoers are safely on their way to Cheltenham. But over on platform 3 at Paddington, an intercity train has fallen at the first hurdle.
So what's happened is the train on number 3's it's about to leave, and just as it's about to pull off, the driver's got a lack of air. That's the driver now, and that's the duty manager for Great Western.
Train brakes need compressed air to function. If there's not enough air in the tanks, the brakes won't release. Richard puts an urgent call out to emergency maintenance.
Base to Bravo 4, Robbie.
Yes, sorry, mate.
Robbie, could you make your way over to number 3? The driver had a loss of air. It was initially thought it was the parking brake, but he's still got a problem.
In busy stations like Paddington, when trains break down, engineers have only 5 minutes to fix them.
Yeah, Bravo 4.
Just the fitter.
Right. The bit that I have up on crate to investigate this phone 4 over.
Okay, Robbie, thanks for the update. So Robbie doesn't know what the issue is, so potentially this might have to be cancelled.
The train is now already running late, and it's full of disgruntled passengers.
So the train manager's released all the doors. He's made an announcement on board that anybody that wanted to go to Swindon or Reading, they can jump off this train now, go over to platform 5, because we've got the 45 Swansea, which calls at those stations.
A minute later, Robbie thinks he may have found the cause of the problem.
Yeah, do, mate.
We found the PASCOM tripped in this toilet.
PASCOM is a form of passenger alarm, which alerts the driver that there's something that requires his urgent attention. And it basically means that the train will come to a stand. So in the station, it will mean that the train can't leave. So why someone has pulled it is your guess is as good as mine.
It's quite disappointing when people do that, because passengers can't get to the destination or get home.
With the passenger alarm released, the train should now be able to move. But the brakes are still locked, and Robbie suspects alarms may have been pulled in other carriages.
We have to try and find out how many coaches could have this pulled. Could be 1, could be 10. So we just have to check the whole train now.
In the meantime, the clock is ticking, and trains are backing up.
This train here is coming off of the North Pole Depot. This train now is basically blocked in because this train is ready to go, but it hasn't gone. And that is now blocking anything else from getting out. We do really need to be going in the next couple of minutes. All right, I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, we'll do.
Eventually, Robbie finds the source of the trouble.
So if you look in here, we've got another one pulled. So looks as if somebody's basically pulled them on purpose. which has delayed the train.
With the alarms reset, the problem is now solved. But are they in time to save the service?
Just waiting for the decision to be made. Yeah, it's confirmed it's going to go down to the depot, and we've done our best. Unfortunately, time is not on our side. At a busy rail station, you usually get 5 minutes maximum to fix a fault. If not, it gets cancelled to the depot.
With 900 miles of track running from Paddington in the east out to the West Country in Wales, on the Great Western Railway, there's plenty of scope for things to go wrong. But Network Rail has a secret weapon in its arsenal. An airborne advance warning system, which flags up any potential trouble spots.
So what we're doing here is we're scanning everything, the overheads, and the track. The beauty of doing it from an aircraft, as you can see, the amount of assets we're inspecting just flying along here. You know, there's loads of them. We're covering such a wide area in such a short space of time. And this, for people on the ground to walk, would take hours or even days.
Aerial survey specialist Emma Taylor and engineer Mohammed Shabir are using the helicopter's thermal imaging camera to inspect lines between Maidenhead and Paddington.
So what I'm looking at, I'm just scanning the track here.
Okay.
We'll come past all of your switches, all of your substations. If there's any issue on the equipment that we see, we'll see a real strong glowing white light, and that is heat that's being transmitted off of the equipment. So we can easily see faults with this camera system.
After the recent bad weather, an inspection of the tracks is essential, and surveying them from the air saves the railway millions in man-hours and delays to services.
It's much easier. If you look at it, we just, within about 10-15 minutes, we covered from Maidenhead to here. It's now.
How long would that take people on the ground to do?
Maybe hours, I should say, maybe days. Because you don't get access to the track like we got it now.
They're now approaching one of the network's electricity substations.
Okay, whereabouts are you looking?
Just up the right by those yellow trains.
Visual. Okay. This camera as well, it's got a very good visual camera, so it will allow you to zoom right in on the asset, and then once you've focused it up, you can see great detail. And we can flick to thermal now. We're just about to put an orbit in. So if you go round to the left now, please.
The camera will pick up any heat source, and Emma thinks she's spotted something.
Oh, they're birds. I was wondering what that heat source was, Mohammed, but there's a couple of birds sat in there. They always make me think, oh, we've got a nice fault there. And it's...
A few miles further on, though, they do encounter a problem.
Yeah, water on the top of the roofs.
Yeah, there you go, visual. There's quite a bit. No, it's not water. Oh no, there is quite a bit. Yeah, you can see.
The recent heavy rain has taken its toll on the rail infrastructure as well.
There's a lot of high voltage inside that container, so if there was any leaks occurred, then we could have a problem on our hands.
Back on the ground, Mobile Operations Manager Mark Rowley also has a potentially inflammatory situation on his hands.
This area here is called Thorny Mill Yard. It's an old railway sidings. It's been fenced off for a contracting firm to use this facility, and basically, unfortunately, during a very small window of some concrete blocks being moved, before this company was moved in, the travelling community have seen a window of opportunity and moved in onto the land.
The travellers have been there for less than a week, but have already dumped a huge amount of household waste.
Basically, as you can see from the photos, obviously we've got some caravans set up here, and they're locating all their fly tipping rubbish down at the end of the yard, which basically is accumulating here.
Network Rail has secured a possession order to evict the travellers, and Mark and a British Transport Police colleague are on their way to serve it.
Hopefully they will abide by it and vacate the land that they're occupying. Whether they do so, or if they know of any loopholes, we will soon find out.
The land is close to Iver Station, 5 miles east of Slough, and it's been owned by Network Rail for 135 years.
So that you're saying Network Rail owns this as well? Yes.
But the news seems to make no difference.
Honestly, don't be
Look at this, just over the mark, and another pin is there.
Don't be ridiculous. Honestly, we're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere.
I'm not going to argue who owns Network Rail here, right?
Okay, yeah.
What I'm saying is, this land here has to be vacated forthwith, all right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
That's different land.
All right? Obviously, I've served that on you now, so what's your intention?
We're not going there.
We're not going anywhere.
We're going to High Court.
All right?
We're going to High Court.
All right, then. Okay, guys, no worries.
Network Rail will now have to obtain a writ from the High Court, which will allow them to evict the group by force.
It's a bit tense in the end, wasn't it? They claim really that the little bit of land that they're using is not within that possession order, but it was all covered, all the area that was that they're using. I don't know the finer details, but I think the final High Court writ allows the police to use whatever force is necessary for them to be removed from the site. Without that, they can't force the issue. Yeah, this continues.
Back in the skies above Paddington, they're dealing with a different kind of intrusion.
We've got a bit of a build-up of water around the roof, sort of the top left-hand side from what we're looking at now.
I'll get that one reported because we got a high voltage underneath.
Ah, yeah.
And if it leaks, it's going to pose a problem.
Issues like this would never be spotted from the ground. By detecting them early on, Emma and Mohammed have averted a potentially dangerous incident.
So we're going to report that and we're going to get that fixed.
Copy that, Castle 23.
The team are now flying over the busy approach to Paddington. With 29 trains an hour using just 6 lines here, closing one of the lines for maintenance would cause severe delays.
London's a very intense area, so it's harder to get possession to do maintenance on the equipment because of the sheer volume of trains. Hence why we do and focus a lot of our efforts on our operations around this area.
Within a couple of hours, we have done days work now. If we had to do this manually, like sending people on sites and checking it would take a long time. But with the helicopter's help, it's just done quite quickly.
Back at Paddington, the last of the late night services is leaving the platform, and the station is slowing down for the night.
The auto doors, they need to be locked and escalators switched off, please.
But out on the tracks, work is only just beginning. Engineer Johnny Westcott and his team have been called in to replace a set of points, known as a switch, on one of the main lines into Paddington.
This is our new switch that we'll be putting in. We're just measuring it up to mark our cut points for where we're going to drop it in.
Switches are movable sections of track, which allow trains and other rolling stock to cross from one line to another. If the switches fail, nothing can cross over.
This switch is the main link from the North London line to Paddington for freight trains. So if we don't repair it, come Monday morning, it could cause major delays, not just to freight trains, but the passenger trains.
Johnny and the team have just 6 hours to replace the old switch. But some rail machinery needed for another job further down the line is stuck on track, and Johnny's team can't get to work until it's out of the way.
The machines that we're waiting to pass so we can access can't go anywhere because they can't swing the points. So this is a project S&T trying to fix the problem. So we're stuck here waiting until it's repaired, basically.
With the clock ticking, the S&T signalling team need the existing points working so that the machines can get moving.
We've got permission to start, so we're just waiting for these machines to get out our way, and then we're good to go.
Johnny and his team can finally get to work.
Let's go, gents. Nice and easy, gents. All of these machines gone.
The first stage is to cut out the old switch, which has eroded after years of wear and tear.
So we just made the cut in front of the switch. We're disconnecting the 2 joints at the rear of the switch. We've run up all the screws that go into the sleeper so we can lift out the old switch with the base plate still connected.
The switch is made of heavy-duty steel and weighs around 3 tons. 2 specialist cranes are needed to hoist it out of the way. It's now nearly 4 a.m. and the team have just 2 hours to get the new switch in place so the line can be reopened for the following day's rush hour.
All cuts have now been made, so it's now literally the case of lifting straight in to track.
The new switch has been pre-assembled. It's supposed to fit like a jigsaw.
When we got to site, we took our measurements of our new switch and our old switch so we can make our cuts, and then we could drop the new switch right into place.
If the switch isn't aligned correctly, it won't do its job. So if the measurements are even a millimetre out, they'll have to start all over again. And for the moment at least, it's not going exactly to plan.
Yeah, go on a bit. We need to open it because this one is not in properly. Start it somewhere.
Oh, cable here, mate. Cable.
Up!
Eventually, with a bit of pushing and shoving, the new switch goes in.
Obviously, if we made these measurements wrong, that would have really ruined our night. But luckily, they were spot on. So now it's just a case of everything we disconnected, we now reconnect, and then that is then we're ready to finish up the job.
The old switch will now be taken away and recycled, and with the new switch connected to the signalling system, the line is back up and running, ready for the morning rush hour.
We're literally just finishing up now, and that's our shift finished.
15 miles to the west of Paddington, though, there's about to be a rude awakening.
Today, some enforcement agents are serving a High Court writ so that we can regain possession of our land from the travelling community.
It's 4 days since Network Rail served the travellers at Thorney Mill Yard with an eviction notice, and Mobile Operations Manager Jane Colgan has returned to make sure they vacate the railway's land.
It's probably going to take several hours, I reckon, because there's a lot of vehicles and caravans and whatnot down there, so I think we're going to be here for a little while.
Illegal encampments on railway land are a common and very expensive problem for the UK rail industry.
Even just to get the writs issued costs thousands. And the enforcement agents need to be paid for their time. That's several £100s an hour.
Once issued with a High Court writ, the travellers are bound by law to leave the site. And after several hours of deliberation with the enforcement officers, they pack up and go. Network Rail will now have to arrange a massive clean-up operation.
Crikey, look, I mean, there's everything here. Sofas, windows, beds, trampolines, TVs, mattresses everywhere, baths everywhere, load of garden waste. Wow. So, yeah, it looked like the first person turned up on the 2nd of March, which was 12 days ago. So it's taken them 12 days to create this.
But first, Jane's colleagues create a barrier around the site to prevent any further intrusions.
We're just basically Just building a defensive wall so that the people can't come back till we get full-time security on the site. So, yeah, he's moved some of these huge boulders, and hopefully that'll be enough to keep the site secure. Right, I just need to get some photos to show that the site's been secured, and then we can go. There we are. All right, let's go.
Also on their way are thousands of racegoers heading home after the week-long Cheltenham Festival.
Where headed, sir? Reading down to the left. Where you going? London down to the left, sir.
And the going has been tough for everyone.
How's it going?
It's going very well.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Where do you want to go to?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
Right away at them, please. Welcome to the London train. Go, go, go. Go all the way along.
The finishing post is almost in sight.
It's been manic, it's been crazy. I'll be here same time next year, so and no doubt 20,000 people will join me on Gold Cup Day again next year.
It's now over to staff down the line at Paddington to get them across the finishing line.
Just making sure that everyone's happy, fine. There's no one who's looking like they're too drunk. Needs a little bit of help. But as usual, everyone's happy and cheery.
As the last of the late runners leave the trains,
Thank you for putting up for all our rubbish.
Right. Have a good evening.
a mammoth cleaning job begins, and PC Al Gore scours the trains for any lost property or sleeping passengers.
Always possible someone has drunkenly left their phone or maybe banged behind, so if that's on the train, we can get that to lost property. And secondly, I'm going to also be looking out for people. I just like to say, just want to wake them up, make sure they're OK, and let them then wander either to the taxi or the underground or so they can get home.
Luckily, there are no slumbering passengers this evening, and only one item of lost property.
They don't let their winnings in there, have they?
No, sadly not. Just a coat, no money, no winning tickets, unfortunately.
One of the busiest weeks in Paddington's calendar draws to a close.
A nice way to end it. Very friendly on board, all happy and smiles, thankfully. No problems. Just got to book this into lost property. That won't take too long. And then go and get a well-earned cup of tea, I think.